Why, hello everybody, and today is Thursday, August 22nd, and we are just here by Beacon Corner Bar in downtown Grand Rapids, Michigan. Our plan today is to walk to the south, possibly over to Jefferson Avenue. Here we go. We may catch sunset if we're lucky. I think sunset should be in a couple of hours from now, so I'm not sure if the battery will last that long. I'm gonna put you guys on ultra wide. Hang on. Never mind. We're already on ultra wide. We're gonna walk past the Studio Park. It's a new condo building in the area, along with this one on our left here, as we walk past Stella's Lounge to the south. Also along this walk, we have the Pyramid Scheme. It's been a fairly long time event venue in the area. It does a lot of music shows. In the corner of Oaks and Commerce here, this is Lantern, which is a coffee shop. We'll also be walking past the Cooley Law Library, which is just on our right-hand side here, across from the Heart of Michigan United Way building. Try to hold this. Try to hold you guys as stable as I can get you. I did have a lovely old-fashioned while I was sitting and going over dailies from the second episode we recorded earlier. I think that's a statue of Abraham Lincoln. It'd be lovely if I could get closer to it, but they have this little gate locked, unfortunately. So we'll continue walking to the south. This is the little... Oh, you guys can't see almost anything. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna sneak over to Studio Park, mostly because this alley is really cool. I believe this is an event and venue space. Oh, I wish I could hold you guys more stable. This camera doesn't weigh enough to be super stable. Oh, maybe I can't get to Studio Park from here. I thought this went through. Whatever. Pretty fucking cool regardless. Let's go over this way and turn left. I definitely wasn't, I don't know, the wind's picking up. I apologize if the wind is really disruptive to the audio here. There's Studio Park. Yeah, we're half a block off. So we have the patio of 123 and Elsa's Ice Cream here as we walk to the west. I'll let you guys in. Yeah. Oh, and the listening lawn is currently shut off for an event. So we'll have to turn back and walk around. So this is part of Studio Park here, the movie theater, along with the listening lawn where they do events. We'll go ahead and turn and walk around.
Do that? How do we get backstage? Calvin has college.
We may walk around the outside of Studio Park here. Nope, sorry. This building to our left is a little less interesting because it's one of the newer ones in the area. Dublin Hall, that's another one of the longer time staples of the area. We're going to turn and we're going to walk to the west, which you guys will not be able to see very much as we walk to the west. We're kind of walking directly into the sun. My apologies. Kind of want to get a look at the listening lawn here at Studio Park. Leo's Coney Island Caribbean Bite and several other restaurants here that I have never had the opportunity to make use of. There's just far too many of them, especially in the greater downtown area, as we are just behind the large venue here of Van Andel Arena. But we need to head to the south. So we'll cut through just to the west of the Studio Park. That just heads over into the listening lawn. We are just about under the S-curve here in Grand Rapids. So the north-south freeway is running just next to us here. Now we should go around this person. I think we'll walk Market to the south. We might walk to the south further west than we normally do, just for something different. Some very good-looking motorcycles out today. And this is definitely the area you will find shouters walking around. I don't know, I think my lav is pretty isolated, so you might not be able to hear that. Good for you. Actually, let's cut across the street here and over to the bus station. We'll walk through the bus station. I haven't done that on camera before. Just next to Market Avenue and Founders Brewing here. These are all older buildings along here. And I keep using the word here as a filler word, and I really need to work on that. Yeah, I think those are shoes hanging up there. I don't know if we'll catch bus o'clock or not. A very good channel. Trains are awesome. Has taught me that phrase. So Grand Rapids' bus system does work on they attempt to make transfers more efficient by having all the buses arrive at the station at the same time to facilitate transfers. It's clearly not bus o'clock at the moment, but this is an interesting structure at any rate, so we will walk through it. I've not had very good luck with the bus system here. This is actually one of the first times I've walked through this bus station. And the overwhelming smell here is of beer brewing, and that is due to Founders Brewing just to our west, which is currently downwind. So the predominant smell here is hops and barley, along with maybe just a little bit of that tangy brew. We'll walk through here as we walk to the south. We'll also be walking past the Amtrak station. We are just next to the S-curve of the north-south freeway here. And a look back at the station we just walked through. And the overpass over us here would be one of the local streets that runs east to west. This is one of the only spots to cross the main freeway here. You'll find most of the roads in Grand Rapids do not run right through the city. They are broken up. So just because you're on Leonard Northwest does not mean you will eventually get to an address on Leonard Northwest. It's very often the road ends and then begins again. And the Vernon J. Ehlers station here is our main Amtrak hub. And that connects us with the rail system connecting the rest of the United States. So this will run to Chicago, typically at 5 or 6 a.m. and arrive between 11 and 12 p.m. It's a very modest station. And unlike the airport, it does not feel like the central hub to anything. And that's a decent sized platform, but it's all exposed to the elements. So imagine coming here at midnight and finding yourself dropped off on a platform and a train station that is just a roof. You can imagine it is not the destination of very many people for fun. It's a very rooted in necessity kind of station. We do have some freight connections that leave Grand Rapids, both to the north and the south. Freight service will run as far north as Mackinac City. It also runs to the south, to Indiana and Ohio, Illinois. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. And we'll walk to the south now. So there isn't a lot down this way. So this will be a more relaxing video. Sort of. I actually might go off sidewalk and try to get under the freeway here, because home is on the east side of the freeway for me. As a YouTuber, that's probably the most I want to say about that. And this section of the track here would be for freight, and also is used when the Amtrak comes from Chicago. It'll pull down that way and then back up again after getting turned around to pull into its siding backwards so that it can depart to the south facing the correct direction. I actually don't know where those train tracks, they've got to go somewhere. We'll see. I got called off work, so we have to do that tonight. I left the Old Fashioned earlier, which was quite lovely and well mixed by the bartenders at Beacon. Oh, that's all gated off. Yeah, I guess I need to have walked the right of way if I wanted to walk that way. We might go up to this next overpass and walk up and over and into the east side of South Grand Rapids. There's a couple little bicycle highways here as we walk Century to the south. I believe that overpass ahead of us is Martin Luther King. And that will eventually go over to Division. And my apologies if the gimbal is a little unstable. We are filming as we normally do on our counterweight gimbal, but with the Samsung A21 mounted to it. And unfortunately, that camera, well, that phone doesn't weigh a lot. So it, with no weight on the sled, which is the counterweight on this gimbal. I'm gonna check and make sure I'm not getting run over by a bike walking out here. So our sled has a minimum weight, and it is just slightly higher than it should be for a camera of this weight. So my options are to add weight to the phone, which is next to impossible. I have a waterproof case on it already, and that doesn't add enough. Or to start hacking up the gimbal in order to make the sled lighter. I guess since I have the time to explain it, let's see, let's turn you guys. Yeah, we can talk. Let's talk about gimbals. That sway is due to an imbalance. So normally you would get the sled below the camera to only weigh a certain amount more than the camera, and thus you would make the camera not sway. So I am two-handing it now. The second hand kind of helps dampen the swaying. If this was perfectly aligned, like my DSLR often was, not always, I would just be able to hold one hand on the camera, and unless the wind caught it, there'd be a minimum amount of swaying. I think we'll just walk this road for the most part. Now here's something you don't often see. A couple 100 foot away, that is a U.S. interstate highway with no K-rail or absolutely anything to separate us from the traffic. There's not there's not a sidewalk on this side of the road, but it's still something you don't often see. And again, this would be Martin Luther King. I'm almost certain of it. You know what? We're gonna walk MLK over. I don't want to walk this road all the way south over to the east. The east of here, there's also there's several parks along the way too, which is nice. As many live streamers might not want to admit, you do have to go to the bathroom from time to time. They seem to save it all up somehow. This overpass might have some people who don't want to be filmed. I don't want to call them dinguses. but that's how they might appear. So we might cut you guys in and out as we walk to the east. Founders Brewing has a large warehouse just south of here. Ooh, we got a roller. You don't often see Rolls Royce. It's one of the new ones too. That is not an insignificant investment in an oil change even in a vehicle like that. Big V12s, V10s will typically take between 8 and 10 quarts, which is not a cheap oil change. I've previously had a Volkswagen that took quite a bit too. And we're gonna miss this light, I believe. Plus, I'd like to let this e-scooter go by. The irony about that green Chevy is I think I know the driver. Possibly, I don't know. There could be more than one tuned green Chevy running around. That's entirely possible. This road will bring us eventually over to a road that will run to the south. Just a quick look to the south. Hopefully, it's nice and stable. I'm trying the hardest I can. This sidewalk is very uneven. I have to admit, giant platform I have the phone on. Get a lot of starers, which I guess understandable. Everybody's used to the DJI, little tiny DJI Pocket. We'll walk past the Martin Luther King Jr. Fire Station as we make our way to the east. Some very cool older International Harvester trucks here. You know, it might be a little dark, but a quick look at the Martin Luther King Jr. Fire Station. As we continue our walk to the east. We'll walk past the El Matador corn chip manufacturer here. Oh, it's a very low S2000. I wish I would have gotten a better shot of that. It's actually quite impressive. I think that's an S2000. It is slammed so low to the ground. Honestly, I fear for their oil pan, given the way Michigan's streets are often. But at any rate, El Matador, one of the better corn tortilla chip manufacturers in the area. Very dingus-centered liquor store here, which I guess I kind of understand. No, a Matador's throwing away a bunch of office chairs. I hope you guys enjoyed that video walking through Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's a little shorter one. But if you did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.